President Bola Tinubu says social media has become a societal menace and must be regulated. The president, who spoke through his chief of staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, at a recent event in Lagos, stressed the importance of accurate information in policy formulation and national development. He berated the menace of the social media in the dissemination of fake and wrong information, which has almost torn the country apart, stressing for the need to regularize the framework of news dissemination on social media to avoid misinformation in the country. He emphasized the importance of data in policy formulation for the growth of the country, stating that no developing country can succeed without adequate and well informed data. He said that his administration has an obligation to engage in evidence based discussion and data reliant decision making, hence, the need for accurate data that will be used for better policy formulation and execution. The social media has become a societal menace and must be regulated, as many people do not understand that once the send button is hit, there is a potential to reach millions of people around the world, which is capable of causing a great danger, not just in the society, but even unintended consequences of the individuals that are receiving the information, which may include security of life. As citizens become more interested in governance, it is the government's obligation to ensure that engagement with citizens springs with shared agreement on what the truth is, what is real and what is not, he said. This is Gbajabiamila, the chief of staff, speaking on behalf of the president, saying that social media must be regulated. Well, policy formation is important in a country, and the information that gets out to people must be regulated. That's what they are saying. And may I ask this question? Is the government accountable? Does the government give information to the people? Does the government explain to the people its policies? Does the government really communicate to the people? Or rather, we have seen that the government's inability to communicate to its people and the usage of propaganda because it has failed in its primary duties. Now, the government wants to regulate social media so as to infringe on the rights of the people and put an end to free speech. We Nigerians are not surprised at this present government of the APC, because knowing fully well that they used propaganda during the time of Jonathan through the social media, now that they know that they cannot control the narrative of their still propaganda lying to the Nigerian people, they want to regulate social media. I believe it is going to be resisted vehemently by Nigerians. This might be the beginning of the end of this era. Banning social media, regulating social media so that you can control the narrative, so that the government can tell us what suits them. A government that is not trusted, a government that is believed to have no integrity, and it is not having a large support from the people, would want to ban social media. Let them bring it on. Nigerians are getting ready. Let's look at reactions. Ima Ike Ume says it is quite painful and disturbing that a former speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, would speak in this manner. Nigeria already have adequate laws that deals with issues around personal injury or infractions using social media. Social media is not the problem. Poor leadership and bad governance is. Rather than pitching social media regulations, political actors should harness and sought means to maximize opportunity around social media access and address the growing social and economic inequalities in the country. MC Pilot also says Febi Bajabiamila and his colleagues are making plans on regulating the social media so that the world won't see the stealing, looting of public funds and scam going on in our country, but they shall be revolted by the people. I think this is the time Nigerians will have the guts to come out and revolt against this government. This move by APC might be their undoing. Mazinitan also says the prices of this morning are no longer the prices of this evening, and these prices of today will no longer be the prices of tomorrow. But Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Femi Gbajabiamila's problem is how to gag and regulate social media, the only opposition party in Nigeria. It is like the government thinks that because Nigerians did not revolt during the Buhari era, when Twitter was banned for some time, and they could replicate such at this point in time, Nigerians are suffering bitterly. They are bitter with the government. So anything that is being done with the social media will trigger more violence, and this will make people come out in their droves. Royal Spotlight says Femi Gbajabiamila didn't remember how social media helped them to separate other tribes from the Yorubas during elections. He has forgotten how the same social media is used by APC to run series of propaganda. How best can social media be regulated from how it has been regulated? That's a question from Royal Spotlight. I think this should be a boiling point for Nigerians. Nigerians should really take this very serious because APC, they are not playing. The government, they are not playing. They find it very difficult to control the narrative. They find it very difficult to tell people what they want people to hear because social media is expanding the boundaries of truth. Somebody in a ministry can just, in a twinkle of an eye, release a document on social media which the government may be hiding. Some of these criminal cases, from the better edu to others, these are documents that have been released on social media. So it is going to be very difficult for the government at this point in time to be able to continue in what they are known to do. That is why they want to regulate social media. Look at David Hundeyin and co. They have been making some revelations of recent, that is before and after the election. It's shocking everybody. Now they want to control the narrative. President Eniola Daniel says it was Desmond Elliot, now it's Femi Gbajabiamila, calling for social media regulation as if we are in Iran, Saudi Arabia, or North Korea. Social media is not the problem, but bad governance and poor leadership. Sir Femi Gbaja, no one will complain or talk down on you with your gray hair if the country is good. We all want a better country. Nigerians are not happy leaving the country for greener pastures. Let any talk regarding social media regulation rest in peace. Danny Cole puts up a picture. He says, this was Femi Gbajabiamila fighting for democracy. Dear Sir Femi, Nigeria needs more regulations on poverty, insecurity, poor amenities, and so on than social media. You can see during the assembly raid, he was scaling up the fence. They said they scaled up the fence so as to rescue democracy. And they are the ones in the saddle, and things have gone worse. Nigerians, wake up, Nigerians. Man City principal says that Femi Gbajabiamila seems to be tone deaf or just dancing to the tune of Baba Balablu. Inflation has reached its height figure in our history. Hunger and starvation is everywhere. But the social media that millions of people use as an escape from the pure sadness that the APC government has caused is what they want to regulate. Now, thunder go fire all of Una. Since the chief of staff, an allegation was brought against him on that Better Edu and humanitarian ministry. There was a scandal of him having to get 3 billion naira from the humanitarian ministry, demanding it from Better Edu, and it was said to be fraud. Probably that is what may be instigating all of this, wanting to regulate social media. Haba, APC, Haba, APC. This is tyranny. This is tyrannical. When you look at the social media, people are coming out to complain in their droves. On TikTok, on Facebook, everywhere, people are coming out to complain, and it is raising awareness. And this awareness will make people come out one day on the streets to protest and change the government. Probably this may be one of the reasons why they want to regulate social media, because awareness is coming out. People are complaining. They say they are dying of hunger. People are asking Tinubu to resign. The social media is on fire agog. Now the government wants to regulate the social media. I don't know which of them they want to regulate. Is it whether it's just Twitter, TikTok, or Facebook? How do they want to do it? But we know that Twitter was regulated in the past. Probably TikTok may be regulated now, because on that app, social media app, people are saying a lot of things about this government, and the world is watching. Now, investors might not want to come to Nigeria looking at the complaints of the people. So the government is really concerned about all this. They don't know how to tell Nigerians, Fokobale, Amagbiwale. They don't know how to tell Nigerians to believe, because the indices are not indicing. The results people are seeing is not in tandem with what the government is saying. That means people are saying the government is lying. The government themselves are helpless. They don't know what propaganda to or information, or how to explain to Nigerians that they are working. But we see one thing Nigerians need is that if they go to the market, they can get things at lower rates. Nigerians need communication. Try and make people understand. The National Orientation Agency, they are there. Use this means of communication and make people understand that this is what we are doing part time. Be accountable, be responsible. A government that is not accountable, the people will not support you. It's because you are not sincere, transparent, and accountable. That's why people don't believe you. You have said things in the past that at the end of the day you don't do. People have stolen monies. There are some cases that has been thrown under the carpet. People are going scot free for criminal activities in the same country, and you want people to believe the government can do anything meaningful. If they're not seeing results, there's no believing in government, no matter what they do. Finally, this will be my advice to the government. If they try to regulate the social media, that is when they will know how the people are feeling. They will know whether the people have the guts to come out, protest, and end a regime that will regulate their freedom of speech. If they cannot use propaganda, if their propaganda is not propagandaing, they should they should engage the people with results, accountability, and transparency. Then it will work for them. If not, they should not go the route of regulating social media, because it is going to have dire consequences.